inevitably it's adherence that's the most important thing. So I'm a numbers driven guy. I like data. Data gives feedback, and thank you. Oh my God. We'll restart that. I love you so much. Hey everybody, and welcome to another update of Not a Prep. It's week 6, I think. This is number 6, possibly. Anyway, so what I've done this week and the big change that I've made, essentially, you may notice it, is I'm wearing a weights vest. The reason for this, basically, it's to offset the metabolic adaptation that dieting, bloody dog, that dieting creates, losing body fat. There's generally a bit of a kickback, appetite goes up, NEAT goes down, and this is with the hope of offsetting that. So essentially it's a protective thing. It's not to help increase my overall energy expenditure, which it might. So I'm 84 kilos, but artificially I am 94 kilos. I'm going to put you in, I'm going to link in an article from James Krieger, and a guy, he had a case study called Eric Lee Salzazar. He came to James and basically had this idea of what if I replace the lost weight that I have, and it kind of makes sense. I would be questioning it if it was anybody else other than like James Krieger or one of these well-respected evidence-based practitioners that are out there. Very interesting, but as I say, as I'm saying to most people, it's probably going to be impractical for 99% of people. Lucky for me, I own a gym. It's quite nice fitting, so it goes under a jacket. Nobody even notices it. And it's not hurting anyone. I'm not going to go out there and saying this is like a big deal breaker. I don't know. Eric certainly felt like it was the best prep and he maintained the most muscle. So I am someone who is still very experimental, looking to refine my process and hopefully optimize that ability to maintain maximal amount of muscle mass whilst dieting, minimizing appetite and all of those sorts of things. So I would urge you to go read the article, listen and watch the videos that are attached. There's a couple of podcasts, Dave, I don't want to even attempt his last name. I'll butcher it. I don't want to even say it. Macaroni springs to mind. I can't get that out of my head. Sorry, Dave, but you get a mention. But yeah, like, it's all very interesting. I don't think it'll be very practical for somebody who's maybe overweight, obese, trying to get to a healthy body fat level. So let's say that's the extremes. That's where I start. I'm going that way, okay? If somebody starts here, they want to get here, okay, and maintain this weight. I fully intend on going back here, okay? Overweight, obese people, we want to keep them down there. So we want to get them used to the weight that they are at and get their appetite regulated to that. So I hope that makes sense. Just on one last thing, all right? It's just to urge people out there to be kind to one another. It's been a very tragic week in the world, and online is very, there's a lot of inhumanity going on, and what I would like people to be able to do is just question whether they would speak to an individual face to face if they were there, the way they potentially are going to type on Twitter or in posts or on posts and things like that. Putting yourself out there is very difficult, being in the public eye. Even me doing this requires a little bit of courage. Like, I don't want to look like a knob. I stumble on my words. I'm not perfect. I often delete videos because they aren't perfect and I think, oh, what will people think? I hate the sound of my voice. There's elements that, we're trying to portray this perfectionism and fit in with society, but we're all imperfectly perfect. We're all great individuals. We all have something to offer, and regardless of what you look like, your appearance and all of that, it doesn't matter. You're still a good person. Be a good person. Be kind to other people and think to yourself, what if that was me in that situation? How would I want to be treated? How would I want to be spoken to? That's my little 2 cents worth. I think I think the world's just full of nasty, horrible people that just don't consider other people's feelings, and obviously it can result in terribly tragic things. Okay, so here's my update video. Much love to you, and if you are struggling, just stay strong. Speak soon. Thank you. Guys, this is take 2. So I'm just going to walk you through last week's progress. So around 0.5 of a kilo down, which is great. The week before I was 1.3, so looking at around a pound a week, 2 pounds a week, something like that. Anyway, it's looking good going into this week, because if you look, last Monday I was 85.3, this Monday I'm 84.2, and that's after a relatively high weekend. As you can see here, my weight did go up to 85.4. However, I did feel a little bit bloated after my meal on Saturday night, on Sunday morning. So I think that kind of reflected in the scale weight. A lot of fibre in that. Used the quick add function a couple of times, had a Sunday lunch. I had a Valentine's meal, but I just quick added the calories that I couldn't track on it, so I could like track the steaks and the desserts and things like that. But all in all, I feel like I'm going at a fairly rapid pace, and these couple of high measurements, I don't feel were really reflective. If really I'd, didn't have that Valentine's meal and all of that sort of stuff, I would have probably been back into the 83s or something. That would have come down a little bit more. But either way, the trend's heading in the right direction. Daily assessment, I'm hitting like nearly 21,000 steps. When I'm dieting or in a deficit, I'm just super motivated. So like I'm quite a lot more mindful of my physical activity. So like usually I'd probably be like more 18,000 steps. Whereas like here I'm just going 21,000-ish. Start wearing the weights belt, as I've spoken about, and I do urge you to go and check out those links. As I mentioned, I am a little bloated, but all in all, everything's kind of going quite well. There's no major issues, there's no problems, quite smooth. I am so looking ahead into this week, and a lot of next week is going to be still in a caloric deficit, but I'm probably going to do my first maintenance period from this weekend. I've got a stag do coming up, and that's going to be a, a high calorie intake just through a bit of alcohol and food. But I do kind of plan on, we're in Dusseldorf, so I do plan on being fairly active there. Anyway, that's it, nice and quick. Hope you are all right and still enjoying the series. If you do have any questions, feel free to pop them in the message, and I'll speak to you soon. Thank you.